That's cool.
Anyway, so this is four-letter hog killing by Wendell Berry. Let them stand still for the bullet and stare the shooter in the eye. Let them die while the sound of the shot is in the air. Let them die as they fall. Let the jugular blood spring hot to the knife. Let its freshet be full. Let this day begin again the change of hogs into people, not the other way around. For today we celebrate again our lives wedding with the world. For by our hunger, by this provisioning, we renew the bond. We didn't just let the hogs come to us, but it's so intuitive. Like, look at what's happening. This happens every time. Just let it happen. Yeah, they're all gonna run away. That's okay. We didn't feed them, so. That's okay. Yeah, again, this is one of those things where if you raise pigs, this is a little easier to understand what's happening, but they're just going to look around for food until they find it. They looked over here, they didn't find it, they're going to go over there, they'll be back, which is fine. If you're prepared for that and you kind of know the culture of pigs, it makes all of this way easier. We aren't in any kind of hurry. Again, the shot placement matters most, so we're just going to wait until it presents itself.
Grab the tail.
Water, the ambient temperature, they're all this time of year.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
How does that feel?
That was disgusting, actually.
No, that was wonderful.
It wasn't that bad. Honestly, to me, this is less gross than chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I agree.
Oh, sorry.
So we obviously are over here at Roots and Refuge, really excited to be here learning how to process our own hogs. It's something we've wanted to learn. We've done it before, we know how to clean deer and things, but to do it properly, to use every part of the hog is really a blessing to learn. And these guys are so big on doing everything humanely and as efficiently as possible for the hog as well. So that's a big deal to us. We care about that tremendously. So it's been really a blessing to be here and to learn. So Jess had to slip away to come milk Anna, her goat, and so I asked her could I come along and film her because I love goats. I love milking. I usually milk cows, y'all know that, but I have milked goats before, and milking is just fun to me, so thought I'd give y'all a bird's eye view of how Jess really does it.
You're a pretty thing. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So sleepy. Love those little wagging tails.
little break from the butchering.
So this is actually one of the first videos I ever watched of you. You were sitting out here milking
Yeah.
goats. Not right here, but
Oh, it would have been. This
Would
is
it
the
have
only
been?
milk stuff
Yeah.
I've ever had, yeah. I used to do my videos every morning milking my goats.
Yep.
I'm doing it more now that I have goats and milk again. This was my first homestead love. This was what I would dream of.
yeah.
When I wanted it so bad, was having dairy goats.
I like milking goats.
I do too. It's so therapeutic. Especially when you have an easy one. She's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
She's amazing.
Yeah. She comes in easy. She gets up easy.
Yeah, she's not kicking.
Doesn't kick. She
How
gets
long
a
have
lot
you
of-
had her?
She was born at my cousin's house, and
Yeah.
so I've known her. She's 5.
Yeah.
I've had her now for 2 years. She came to me in milk.
Yeah.
This is my first time to have her kid on my farm, and she's the one we lost, her kid,
Yeah.
this last weekend. But she's a really good one. She was an easy milker when I got her in milk.
Yeah, you can't ask for him to do better.
She does pretty good. That's probably about a quart and a half.
Yeah.
So
That is pretty good for a goat, I'd say.
yeah, and she just kidded a week ago, so I mean it'll go up. She goes up to about a half gallon. They peak about 2 or 3 months after kidding. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's a good producer,
Yeah.
and she's just easy. She's always this easy. It's
Yeah.
very nice. I have some that do acrobatics up here and
Oh, yes.
kick me.
Those are not fun. You wouldn't think those little legs can kick that hard,
No.
but
You learn what it means to not cry over spilled milk. I
Yes.
remember
Yes.
the first time, like when I was training a first freshener, right when I got into goats, and I sat here and there was milk all over the stand.
Yep.
And I just sat here crying, and I was like, now I know what that meant.
oh, yes. It's a real thing.
When you have to work for it, it's a lot sadder loss. So
And that foot can find that bucket real easy.
so fast, so fast.
Yeah, she's an angel.
She is. She's a good girl.
You're going to start right here above like the fat part of the ear. You're going to cut in. I know. It's weird because the spine isn't up here. The spine's way down here.
Okay.
So you're going to cut through a lot of flesh right now. You're just going to go back and forth.
Avoid the spine for now.
Well, you're going to cut into the flesh until you get to the spine. You ready? That's through left, your right hand.
She just cut the
Grab
face
the other
off,
ear.
the whole
There
head.
you go. And then again, yep, parallel to the ground, just back and forth. Just like that.
That's a knife.
Until you get into the spine. You go, the knife
a little
will feel
sharp.
the spine.
You go way further than you
going.
think before
Yeah,
you get the
you
bone.
Feel it? Should
I
be
think I
pretty
do feel
close.
it.
Okay, now we're going to turn and you're going to aim for this right here. So just keep going back and forth. And then just keep an eye on where you're going on the other side. You're going to get blood on your hand.
We have like an itinerary. I don't remember.
See the cut up.
I think he said 18 months.
That's good. And look how clean that knife is.
Specific. But I also know that on the other side of that leaf fat, this fat right here, is an incredibly thin membrane. It's called the peritoneum. It looks like cellophane. It looks and feels like cellophane. It's not going to slow my knife down at all. And neither will the leaf. That's why I need to be kind of conscientious about what's happening. At this point, I need to find Andy's good work on the back end. And I do that by taking my hand and kind of make a cupping. It's good to have trimmed fingernails. But a cupping motion, I'm actually working my way up through the pelvic canal. So the pelvis is up here. I'll open it up a little bit for you so you can see better. Right between the two hams, all the way to the pelvis. So there's the bladder, my way through and around. All the connective tissue that connects the bung, which is where all the intestines express themselves to the back end of the pig. I want to tear away those connective tissues until I can reach my hand all the way around the bung. And then if Andy's job was thorough, and it usually is, then I can pull the entire bung through.
Let's go for a squeal. I'm gonna go real tight.
Okay.
Okay, now go touch it. Dude, it feels like styrofoam. I'm serious. It feels like styrofoam. That is insane.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that weird? She's like wiping it off on your
On
towel.
my clean towel.
Yeah.
Like watersheds
Oh yeah.
or tree branches, it all follows the same sorts of patterns.
Right. We don't have a divine creator. It's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta
Yeah, or if you focus in like on neurons in the brain, it's like the same structure.
So these guys actually don't waste a single thing. I want to show you what he did with the stomach. He actually cut it open and dumped its contents to the chickens because it's just fermented feed. I mean, it gives a new meaning to fermenting your chicken feed and soaking it, and the chickens are loving it. He actually wound up leaving the stomach in there as well. So that's what I'm loving about this. Not one single thing is being wasted.
Which, for the amount of blood we have, might be enough.
So are y'all related, or are you just good friends?
No, I don't even like him that much. No, we're not related. We just happened to get into all this stuff at about the same time. And we actually, my wife and myself and him and his wife all went to the same college.
Yeah.
Though we never really
So what's left is
hung out in college, but we had a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
And after college, they moved back to our area, bought a small homestead. We bought a small homestead. They were only like 5 miles
Soon
apart.
he'll cut it off.
And then what's the part that you actually use to make sausage?
This,
It's
The part
there.
you're pulling out?
but the inside of it,
Dude, if you hear
I'm
that,
gonna cut it. 'Cause
Can you just give me a shot of that real quick if you holding it out for long?
oh yeah.
Thank you. Can we just say real quick what it is?
The small intestine that has had the mesentery pulled off.
Mesentery.
The mesentery.
And you said you could actually get like 70 feet if you wanted to?
If we saved all this, yeah. I mean, look how much is left, and I already have that much.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
a
still
lot
ton.
of casing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yep. But this will probably be enough for what we're doing. And so the cool thing is,
Can I play with them?
It's like a tower with a crank on the bottom.
the next thing we'll
Shoots
do
out
is
the
turn it
front.
inside out, which is real crazy.
Sure. I'm just cleaning off the charred parts.
So you just threw it down in the burn barrel?
Well, I set it on a stump, but then the stump shifted down further, closer to the fire, so I'm just cleaning off all that charred.
Have you tried that before?
Monkey?
No, that. No, pigtail.
My kids will always cook them.
Really?
My kids will grab them and cook them whenever we're. You want some?
Yeah.
There's no salt on it. I think it's done too.
That's so comforting.
So is it bone in there?
Yeah. You got the small
Roast the
one.
tail.
Good?
How is it?
It's good.
You salt it at all?
No.
No salt?
It tastes like pigtail.
I guess, because I've
Just
never
like a
had
pigtail.
pigtail.
Yeah.
It's good though.
There's not a ton of meat on it. How's the skin? Did you get a little bit charry? And
Yeah. Actually, it's too charred. My cooking spot like shifted down. It's good though. If I was starving, I would be like the best thing.
Yeah. So to turn pig intestines inside out,
His face.
he said, "Oh." So you make a little pocket like that. Hold on, give me a second. I learned this from an old Spanish woman on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Hold on.
It's a natural fidget spinner.
Yeah.
All like the lower the animal, all the
That's okay.
Oh, wow, that's so amazing.
And then it's inside out. Pretty slick, huh?
I'm impressed.
We have Eleanor Grace, and she is.
You ready to dice a kidney?
Trimming some
Do you want some
fat.
of our other knives out?
We're dicing kidneys.
I'm ready to eat a kidney. I'm going to try a piece raw.
Oh no.
Come on, man.
we just don't. Those are the valves that actually like pump and filter the urine through the kidney. So we leave those in.
If I have trouble identifying them, I'll.
You'll know immediately. Yeah, there's this really kind of rich, beautiful Merlot colored meat, and then a white, tough, like cartilaginous interior.
It does.
Very good.
I wonder how it got its name.
Was the bee named after the kidney?
I will say though, I hate the tree chicken.
This is the, what's this called?
Spleen?
It's also
So this is the spleen. It is attached to the caul fat on one side, and what was on this side?
Pork chop or sausage or
Stomach.
bacon.
That's right. So the stomach is on one side, the spleen is on the other, and this actually isn't a sheet, it's a sack. So if you were to hold it up with quite a few different hands.
Can I touch it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Anytime we've butchered, it's been on the warmer side.
That is so amazing.
Isn't it wonderful?
And what's amazing is how these things don't feel dirty.
The idea. Oh, but since you say that, I will say ahead of time, just to prepare people, I mentioned we don't like blood during this process. That's why we try to get everything as clean as possible out there. This is the one exception. Cutting the kidneys are a little messy. You can see from his knife, but the liver is just going to have kind of a messy, bloody-ness to it.
Do you want that cut off like this?
However you like.
So I have a
You're the
question
boss,
about liver.
applesauce.
About the liver. When people ask you about the liver and its nutritional benefits,
Yep.
do you ever? My question is, since the liver filters out toxins, why is it not?
Why is it healthy?
Yeah.
Good question. So you can tell by looking at it that it's healthy. So if this were to be an inspected kill, if there was a USDA inspector like giving its blessing for the animal's health and wellness, it would be by the site of the liver specifically. The kidneys a little less so, but if you could see visible spotting and or worse liver flukes, which are like parasites that are growing into and out of the liver, then it would be an indication that it wasn't a healthy animal and conceivably would not be fit for consumption.
Okay.
If that ever happened to you, if you took an animal in, whether it was a beef or a pig, and it was determined by the inspector that it was sick or unfit, you have nothing to say about it. That animal is condemned and you're never going to see it again. So that's kind of rough. But
We've never had that happen, but
it does happen.
Yeah, they inform us that it could.
Yep.
So, but how then, therefore, is it because it filters it, but then therefore it goes out of your body? Is that why?
Yeah, that's
the
its
liver
entire
is then
function.
not-
Yeah.
Because it's not retaining
That's right.
the toxins.
Right.
Mucosal layer off. When I do it, I wrap it around my fingers a whole bunch because it's really hard to hold on to.
Even then, it's still hard to hold on to.
Yeah, and then you just put downward pressure and scrape outward, and then all that stuff comes off.
Super yucky.
And then once you get that section cleaned, you let out a little bit more, and you do the same thing. And you see all the stuff that's coming off.
Yeah.
I would be so afraid I'd fall on cutting into it.
Well, again, if you're using these two flat surfaces, you're just squeezing it. It's just acting like a squeegee. Now, see how it's got like that texture on it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can scrape that all day and it'll still be that color. So that section right there is actually okay, but you see this holder on and stuff? But otherwise, those are really clean. That looks great. Wild stuff.